Dane jerked his gloved fist from Lance's rectum with an audible pop. The sight of the man's raw, moist, gaping tunnel turned Dane's stomach. He vomited acid bourbon all over Lance's back as he stripped off the blood and shit-coated rubber glove and balled it up in his other hand. Then he jerked back on the kneeling man's hair and forced the glove into his mouth. That was to get you good and loosened up, Dane growled as he shoved Lance's head back into sand and broken glass, crusted pavement. The strip mall parking lot was empty as the shopping center itself had been for months. There was barely any traffic on the road, but they were far enough away that it wouldn't matter. No one would see anything. Maybe, just maybe, they'd smell something, though. The smell of barf and anal sex launched Dane's guts again. It landed on Lance's head as the man spit the glove from his mouth and reared up to deliver steaming chunks of what appeared to be chicken, corn and potatoes out of the ground. This'll cut you a bit, so what I got for you next will be sure to take. Dane reached into the small duffel at his feet and pulled out a cactus the size of his forearm.
The size of what?
His forearm. He plucked it from his own, he said weird western. He plucked it from his own backyard that evening before going out on the hunt. He took a deep breath and plunged the cactus into Lance's ass. He worked it around with one gloved hand as he held Lance's face to the ground with the other, muffling his screams in the gravelly vomit. The smell of blood and shit grew even stronger. Dane turned his head as he hit bottom and ground the cactus in hard. She was all I left, you fucking scumbag. Lance's rectal blood splattered Dane's face as he whipped the cactus aside and he wiped it from his mouth with his sleeve before undoing his belt and yanking down his pants. She was going to graduate this year. My wife ran off after I came back positive. I've been on borrowed time for 5 goddamn years. My other girl was all I had to live for. He swept the man's asshole for loose needles before ramming himself into the hilt. Now you're going to know what that's like. He thought about the porn he'd watched that afternoon, the strippers he'd watched as he got good and drunk that evening as he pumped and thrusted inside the squealing, kneeling bitch in front of him. Sirens rose in the distance as Dane came inside Lance. The kneeling man bucked and writhed and Dane punched him in the back of his head as he slid his cock out and pulled his pants back up. Don't get all hopeful now. I called those boys. Friends of mine. I didn't get sick because I like freaky sex. I got it from a transfusion after getting shot by a fucking murderer just like you. Retired from the force and around the same time the old lady left me. They got DNA evidence for my girl's clothes. There's certainly enough here. Gave them an anonymous tip. They'll be happy as hell to help me out. They think it's fucked up you got off on a technicality just like I do. Whether the virus gets you or your cellmate does, you still got more time left than you gave her. Have a nice life.